Hello children, welcome back to my talks, and here we are with the second chapter, standard 10th, first flight. Okay, so standard 10th English we are doing, and we are doing first flight textbook. Okay, and in first flight second chapter, that is Nelson Mandela. Okay, hope you must have liked the first chapter and understood it well. Now let's begin with the second chapter, that is Nelson Mandela, long walk to freedom. Okay, you know that Nelson Mandela is also known as Gandhi of South Africa, isn't it? And this particular story is written by Nelson Mandela himself. Okay, it's an autobiography, you can say. Okay, it's from his life. So this is the summary. Okay, the complete summary of this. This is a very big chapter, and this is definitely going to help you. Okay, so 10th May dawned it is, so it was 10th May. Okay, and the day was very bright and clear. Okay, and all the world leaders had come over there. Okay, to the author, to Nelson Mandela, to pay respects to him. Okay, to honor him, you can say. And it was before the inauguration, before the freedom, you can say. Okay, the inauguration was to be the largest gathering of the world leaders there. So all the leaders from throughout the world were invited over there. Okay, and just before the inauguration, they had all gathered over there. So the inauguration ceremonies took place in a big open building in Pretoria. Okay, so this is the place, you must notice it. Okay, and this is an open building where the inauguration, the complete ceremony took place. So here the South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. Now he is a black, isn't it, Nelson Mandela? So he was the first one who would be the ruler then and was to be installed. The first non-racial government was to take place. The swearing in ceremony, okay, on that day, the author was in the company of his daughter. Was in the company of means he was accompanied. He was there with his daughter Zinani. Zinani is the daughter of Nelson Mandela. Okay, and Mr. D. Clark, he was the first sworn in as second deputy president. So he was also there. And then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president. So all these people, the names must be like, it must be there in your tips, it must be there in your memory. Okay, and it was the author's turn then. So all these people had taken oath. Okay, the deputy president, the second deputy, the first. Okay, and now it was Nelson Mandela's turn. Okay, so he was sworn in as the president. And he pledged, you understand? Every day you take pledge in the school. Okay, this, whenever you become minister or prime minister or president or whatever, the chief minister, even the minister, you take an oath. So this is pledge, and he pledged to uphold the constitution, whatever is written in the constitution. He also took an oath to devote his life for the well-being of the people, because it was a long fight. Okay, children. So just like as we gain freedom, they also gain freedom. So now the author starts speaking to the public, and what does he say? Okay, he spoke of the newborn liberty. Liberty is the newborn state. Newborn state, the freedom which they have got. Okay, after the long struggle, he talks about it. He thanks all the international guests, all the people, all the different people who had come over there. Okay, he thanks everybody for joining in their happiness. Okay, and he said that they had come there to be with his countrymen, and he was very delighted. He thanked them that people had taken out some time from their busy schedule, okay, to be a part of the celebration of South Africa. Okay, so it was a common victory for justice, means Mandela said that it's victory of justice, peace and human dignity. Completely underlined, children, must write it. He pledged to liberate his people from poverty. He also said that people are very poor. So I'm going to eradicate, I'm going to wipe off, I'm going to remove the poverty, okay, sufferings and discrimination. Discrimination between rich and poor, discrimination between white and black, okay, racial discrimination. And then the display of the jets and the helicopters took place. So after a few moments of his speech, Okay, the South African jets and helicopters, they flew over the Union buildings there where the program was taking place, and it was for the military's loyalty. And these you can say displays are that the military in their own way displays its loyalty to the president, okay, and to the new government. So then the highest military generals having medals on their chest, means all the officers from military, they come to salute, okay, and they come over there and they salute Nelson Mandela, the new sworn in president, okay. And he thinks that they would have arrested him many years before, okay. So Mandela in his own mind thinks that these were the people who had arrested him many of the times, okay, earlier, and today because he has reached up to that post, they are there to salute him. Then the singing of the national anthem took place, okay, and the day was symbolized for the author by the playing of two national anthems, and that day two national anthems were played, the whites song as well as the black song. So both the white national anthem and the black's national anthem, both the national anthem was played on that particular day, okay, and these formed the old anthems of the republic. So both of them combined formed the song of Republic South Africa. So the author, now what does he think? So on that day of the inauguration, the author thought of the history, okay. In the first decade of the South African people, first decade means the first 10 years, okay, had patched up their differences with other black skinned people. So the first 10 years of South Africa, now he starts going into his past, okay, and he remembers that the first 10 years they had been trying to patch up the differences with white people, okay, in order to bear it, in order to stay over there. They never raised their voice, okay. They had built a system of superiority also, and they were considering the whites as superiors. So this system had now stood overturned, and now everything is overturned. Now whites are no more superiors, okay. Whatever I'm telling is telling from those days when Nelson Mandela was elected, was sworn in as the president of South Africa, okay. And now it was the system that recognized the rights and freedoms of all people. So he, according to him, because he was chosen, okay, all the rights were made, the freedoms were given to people. Now the author has only one regret. Author means Nelson Mandela, okay, that this auspicious day came after the sacrifices of thousands of people. Many people lost their lives in the struggle of freedom, and then they got this independence. So that was somewhere a painful moment for Mandela. So the author thinks himself that he was like he took little time to thank all of them, but it pains that because on their death, on their bloods, okay, today's independence, today's freedom was built up. So the freedom fighters remembered. So finally all the freedom fighters, okay, he names it as Oliver Tambers, Walter Sisulu, okay, and Yusuf Dadus. All these people, they were men of uncommon courage, okay, wisdom and generosity, and the country was rich in minerals, but its greatest wealth was its people. So Mandela said that all these people, they lost their lives, they were really great, okay. The country is very rich in minerals, but it is wealthy, greatest wealth is the people, okay. It has lost the people, and the people had gained freedom for the country. So what was the definition of courage according to the author? Okay, he says that they risked their lives and underwent all the great tortures, and finally they came out victorious. They have lost their lives, but then victory is theirs. Okay, and what is man's natural goodness? He says that no one is born hating another person due to color or religion. He says God does not give us birth, okay, and we are not born hating each other, that somebody is rich, somebody is poor, okay. We do not learn discriminations from our birth. That is what he says. They could be taught to love, and the people who start hating, okay, they can be taught to love. Love comes naturally to the human heart, okay. The child when born, he smiles at his mother, he smiles at anybody who sees. So that comes naturally, and love can be taught, okay. That is what he sees. In prison, they were pushed to the wall, but he saw humanity in the hearts of the guards. So he says that when they were thrown into the prison, okay, fighting for the independence, okay, they were pushed into the prison up to the walls, but the guards had humanity in the hearts. Okay, they worked for the whites, but they had little sympathy for them. Okay, so that is what is called man's essential goodness. Okay, and it can't be thrown out of anybody's heart. It should be always there. Then what are the duties of man? In life, every man has got two duties. Okay, one to his family and one to his community and country. Community, society and the country. So one family, community and society. So the author finds it difficult. Okay, he says that it is difficult to fulfill both the duties together. So it was because a colored man in South Africa was punished if he lived like a human being. Okay, why it was? Because if a dark person, dark complexion person, okay, lived like human beings enjoying life, he would be punished in South Africa. And such man was forced to live apart from his own people. And if you are happy with your family, you would be forced to live all alone. Okay, away from your family, and thus he was not allowed to do his duties to his family, and finally he would be separated from the family again without performing his duties towards the family, taking care of his children, wife, all that. So how does he define freedom? Now this is a big chapter, children, Nelson Mandela, and I will do it. So freedom defined. How does he define? That the author, he says that I was born free. Nobody is born with shackles in their hands and legs. Okay, you are born free, and he was not born with a hunger to be free. He says that I was not born that I would be born with a you can say a hunger that I want to become the president, I want to fight for the freedom of the country. Nothing like that. Okay, he was free he says that as long as I obeyed my father, okay, obeyed the customs of my tribe, I was free. Okay, but soon as he realizes that freedom was an illusion, okay, it's like Mrit Trishna, we say, no, that it's just it's not there, but something which is not real. Okay, it's just an illusion. So he started thinking for freedom. Okay, that hunger for freedom arose into his heart. Okay, and it was taken for him. So as a student, he wanted freedom to read and go. As a young man in Johannesburg, he wanted freedom to be as per his potential. Okay, whatever his ability was, he wanted to be free. He also wanted the freedom of livelihood. Okay, whatever he wanted, he could be given freedom to practice. Okay, and he would be also given freedom to take care of his family. Now all this desire for the freedom made him bold. Okay, so he saw that he was also not free like his brothers and sisters. So then he joined the African National Congress. Okay, and the hunger for the freedom of his people became greater, and the desire for the freedom, okay, that and to live dignity gave him more power, to live with respect. Okay, and it gave him lots of boldness. He became bold and courageous. Okay, and he also made these particular conditions, okay, made him live like a monk, sannyasi. Okay, the chains on his people became chains for him. Now, because he came from a good family maybe, okay, but the other people could not even get food to eat. Okay, so he thought that their problem was his problem, and only then he became a leader of theirs, and they accepted him as a leader. Okay, so oppressor and the oppressed without humanity. The author knew that the oppressor must be liberated like the oppressed. So the one who oppresses, the oppressor and the oppressed, both should be liberated. A man who takes away another's freedom definitely becomes the hated. So people start hating him. Okay, and then after that, no one is free if he's taking someone else's freedom. If I curb down your freedom, definitely even you are being hated. If I take it, you will start hating me. Okay, both the oppressor and the oppressed, okay, they are robbed of humanity. Both of them are not human. They are not practicing humanity. Now fatafat will do the main points. Okay, so 10th May was the day of freedom for South Africa, and there was a huge gathering of international leaders and dignitaries in Union Building, Pretoria, and the first non-white government was to be sworn in. Okay, the second point, Nelson Mandela delivered a speech on the victory for justice, peace and human dignity. And then he pledged to liberate his people from the clusters of poverty, suffering and discrimination. After that, a colorful show of jets and helicopters took place to show military loyalty towards the new formed government. Okay, two national anthems, one blacks and one white, were sung. Nelson Mandela remembered and thanked all the people who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of the country. Okay, the great freedom fighters, okay, Oliver Tambo, Walter, Chief Lutlu, Yusuf Dadu and others were remembered. Mandela emphasized that the country was because of its people and not for its mineral. Okay, courage is not the absence of fear but the victory over it, victory over the fear. People should love one another and not hate due to color or religion. Love emanates of its own, that is natural goodness. Okay, and then Nelson Mandela also said that a man should balance his duties towards his family, country and society. He said that freedom has many aspects. For a child, it is to run and play. For an adult, it is to fulfill the needs of his own and his family. And real freedom means equal rights for everyone. Okay, and the last but not the least, he desired people to live with dignity and respect. He wanted the oppressors and the oppressed both to be liberated and both to be free. Patience and perseverance, guided by discipline, were the key words for the desired result, he stressed. Okay, definitely a very long chapter, children. Okay, but a very important one. Hope I have cleared all your doubts. I have made the chapter easy for you and you will be able to answer any questions which are asked for the boards. Okay, I will be giving the formats of the question paper and we'll be discussing quite many things. But do keep following me. Okay, if you have not subscribed, subscribe the channel because I'm coming to you with my bio lectures as well as English lectures. Okay, so give a big thumbs up. That gives me encouragement to make good videos for you. Okay, and do like it, share it with your friends anywhere studying in 10th standard, making videos for 10th, 11th and 12th. So you can share with anybody who's studying in 10th, 11th and 12th English and Bio. Okay, so thank you children. Thank you very much.